Hello, guys. My new podcast called Fallout Build Mastery. Like the title suggests, the podcast will focus on you, the viewer, mastering build creation on a pro level. Each episode will have a tip, a trick, or a guide on build creation and mastering being a pro and making builds as OP as they can get in the game. The first episode will focus on how to get inspiration for build ideas. If you don't have ideas, you can't even make a pro build to begin with. Um, I'll list several ideas about how you can make builds yourself and get inspiration as on your own without me having to make build videos on the builds I'm making. Simply simply seeing a build that a YouTuber makes when they're a build video what they make, like builds on commando builds, on bow builds, all the pro level builds these days have. YouTubers like Mr. West Tech and Angry Turtle both have very amazing build videos that are up to date. They're very amazing and they do insane amounts of damage. Um, those build videos are very, very good for making builds. But if you want inspiration for your builds, then you'll have to make it on your own, obviously. Because, well, if you're just looking at the builds on other people's things, you're not going to have anything unique, right? Um, Another idea is that seeing builds that other YouTubers make when they're streaming. So some streamers on Twitch or YouTube have different builds that they have that other build videos wouldn't. Those builds are probably it could be unique compared to the build videos you watch. So getting a vast variety of builds from different ideas from different YouTubers and Twitch streamers are going to give you more of an inspiration for a build that you can make unique compared to what they make. Simply taking time for yourself, like when you're taking a walk around the neighborhood, just walking, relaxing your room at home. Sometimes just clearing your mind can give a good perspective on life, and even get new ideas that no one else has done before. Also, on a side note, this is what artists and music writers actually do to get ideas. Some do this; they give themselves time and just sit around or go and watch nature. They get ideas from most people get ideas that way because it's a very good idea to do that. This is an idea I get every single time I make a build. This is probably what I'll do. Um, when you get a random weapon, you see, find or make yourself. Make a build based on that weapon. And look up its damage, speed, or effects. Like if it has fire, energy damage, um, just any other effect it has, and make a build out of that weapon and make it really OP out of them. For example of this, I did a assault rifle sniper build that was automatic sniper build a week ago. It's onslaught based. The reason why I made that build to begin with was because I had a 4-star legendary effect that would make the cone of fire better for this weapon. So I made a build out of the weapon that I randomly found in an event, which made it really, really OP because it kills enemies so fast and it destroys high level enemies and possibly even bosses, which I haven't tested that yet. But imagine it does insane amount of damage to bosses if you can aim right. Um, Find a really weak weapon and make it yourself. Make it. Excuse me. Find a really weak weapon in the world and make it really OP. I've done this before with other builds in the past, though I've not made a build on it. But find a really weak weapon and then make a build out of it. I mean, that'd be a really good challenge for an inspiration for a video. Find a really garbage weapon and make it OP. Like if it's a weapon, like a melee weapon, that's really bad and does very little damage and doesn't have very many modifications. Um, Max out your strength as much as you can. Wear power armor. Max out the strength as much as you can to up that damage to be a mid game weapon. So some high level players can do that. They can max out their strength so high that it does way more damage than it used to. That's a very good idea, and plus it's also a very good challenge. By the way, it's a very fun challenge to do. You know make a build based on that. Um, the next build inspiration idea. Um, think of legendary effect that be garbage compared to other legendary effects that are better, and make a build based on that, and see how far you can get into late game without how far you can get into late game until the effect doesn't work well with other effects anymore. I can't really get an example based on like right now. I can't bring one off the top of my head, but actually maybe like use the scorched legendary armor effect or weapon effect and use that against Scorch based Queen, or maybe do an effect like that and put all of your armor and do, make the Scorch Beast Queen really weak against you. If you're a lower level player and you have tons of Zealot legendary effect armor, you can fight the Scorch Beast Queen without worrying about it. Would still do insane damage, but it wouldn't do as much. So that's a good idea. You could use a build on that. In Fallout 76 inspiration, it's easier to get than you would seem to think, or think to seem, whatever you want to call it. By these tips I've seen. Using these tips, you can find some truly OP builds that no other player has found yet. Like, there are very many ideas in this game. The creators specifically made these perk cards to be very, very vast in what builds you could make. They want you to make insanely very various builds that aren't unique to each other. So yeah, that was my podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you have a great day. Bye bye.